Hi everyone, I've been planning to set up a DIY boy room for our AG doll for the longest time, and with the launching of Logan, I am more inspired, and today I'll be sharing with you how I made a bed for our AG doll boy. Now let us get started. Here's a list of the tools we will be using. And as far as materials, we will need 1.5 piece of foam board, a piece of backing fabric, a piece of felt fabric, and 1.5 yard of fabric with the color of your choice. I prefer a darker chocolate color, but gray is the only color I have at home. Ribbon is optional. In case we don't like the finishing of the headboard, we can embellish it to cover all the mistakes. And to start with the foam board cutout preparation, I have prepared and divided them into 3 different groups. So all the measurements are listed below in the description box. The first group is a headboard with the main headboard piece, then the 2 headboard side pieces, and 9 headboard design pieces. And the second group has 2 sideboards and 1 footboard. The third group is just a frame which has the big frame part and 4 identical base pieces. For the fabric cutout preparation, I use a cutout foam board pieces. I trace them out, adding different extra allowance for different pieces. I also list the fabric cutout measurements in the description box below as well. So for the footboard, we trace out and add 1 inch extra around it and cut it out. And this applies the same extra allowance for the sideboard pieces. For the main headboard piece, I measure up by 3¼ inch and draw a guideline across. This guideline indicates where the headboard fabric piece starts with no allowance. Trace it out from there and add 1 extra allowance around the 2 sides and the top part only. After cutting the piece out, I measure 1 inch in from the 2 side lines and 1 inch from the top line. And last but not least, I measure up from the guideline part by 3 inches and trace everything out and cut out the window. The headboard side pieces are a little bit different. I place a piece, trace 1 edge, flip over and over 1 more time, leaving no extra allowance for the first side, and add 1 inch allowance on the other side. For the top and bottom, I would add only 1/2 inch. The backing fabric is simple. I just trace out and cut out 1/4 inch less around the headboard piece. For the felt, I trace and cut out 9 felt pieces with exact size as the small headboard design pieces, and I also cut out 9 pieces with 1 inch extra around as well. To start putting the bed together, I attach a small felt to the foam piece with hot glue. Once all the pieces are done, I place the piece with the felt facing the wrong side of the fabric, add the glue to both sides, and neatly fold the extra fabric over. Once the sides are glued, I cut the extra fabric straight along the edge and stop right there at the corner and make a 90-degree angle cutout. Then I use my finger to press down that little extra fabric and fold the side of the extra allowance in with the slight angle. Then I add a little bit of glue, turn it over, and glue to the wrong side of the board, and add glue to the edge. Use the same method for the other 3 corners. And I also applied this method to the other 8 pieces. Moving on to the headpiece, let's place a foam board piece down to face the wrong side of the fabric. Add hot glue to the sides and neatly fold the extra fabric over. Once the sides are glued, again, cut the extra fabric straight along the edge and stop right there at the corner and make a 90-degree angle cutout. Use your fingers to press on that little extra fabric and fold the side of the extra allowance in. And add glue, turn it over and glue to the wrong side of the board, and add glue to glue the edges. Flip the board over, add glue along the raw edge of the cutout window and glue all the edges down. Also, don't forget to add glue along the guideline as well. Now I am placing all the 9 pieces on top of the headboard window and line them up neatly with 1/4 of an inch from the outer edge, placing the better pieces around the top edge, then hot glue them to attach them to the headboard. So once we're done, we can leave the design with this clean look. I think if I use a sewing machine method to sew the fabric with this design might look cleaner, but now I'm not satisfied with the uneven lines, so as I've mentioned, the option is to embellish the seams with ribbon to hide all the mistakes or an uneven seam. So I'm cutting out 4 pieces to cover the seam and 1 ribbon piece to wrap around the edge and glue them neatly in place starting with the cross seams. Once the cross pieces are applied, then I add the vertical pieces together. Then I cover the ribbon around the edge, starting from the bottom. I just want to make sure that I cover all the ugly parts there, especially on this side, with everything being shown. And I think the ribbon does its job. I personally think that this looks better. And now for the headboard side piece, I start by attaching the top and bottom edge together. I place the board edge right along the trace outline. Add hot glue, turn the extra fabric over, and glue the fabric straight in place. Then I fold the extra fabric on the other side, exactly where the trace outline is, turn it over, and hot glue the seam together. And the same step for the other side. So once the top and bottom seams are attached, I add glue along the edge and glue the piece down, leaving the extra fabric for later when I attach them to the main headboard piece. As for the footboard, I had hot glue to the sides and glue the fabric. Then again, I use my fingers to press the corner and turn the fabric in and glue the top and bottom together to the board. And just the same steps being applied to the sideboards as well. Now let's attach all the frame pieces together, starting out by adding hot glue along one edge of the frame and add glue to the base together. The trick is you can place the base edge straight, use the base edge and lean the glue gun tip against it, and while applying hot glue for a straight glue line, and then glue the base on. So once all the 4 pieces are attached, turn it over and add glue to attach a footboard part together. Make sure the footboard is aligned well and straight. The next step is to attach the sideboard pieces. Let's start by adding glue to the footboard edge, then all the side of the base and the side of the frame, and attach it together. So make sure that the edge is all even around. Press the side tight so that these edges stick close to the sideboard, and the same as the other side. Now that the outside of the bed is neatly assembled, let's attach the headboard piece together by adding glue to the edge of the frame and lots of glue to the sideboard. Then attach them together and press them together. Now we're almost done, so let's add glue along the side edge of the headboard and some to the side of the board edge. Then attach the headboard side piece together, pressing it tightly. Turn to the back of the headboard, then attach the extra fabric to the back with hot glue gun. So pay extra attention at the top, make sure that it's all neat and clean. And we'll be doing the same thing as the other side. The very last step is to cover the raw edge of the back of the headboard with this backing fabric. Add hot glue to the back of the headboard and glue the fabric on, sealing all around the edges, and we are done, finally. And so this is a very first DIY piece for our boy room. I'm gonna be making the bedding next, so please hit me back with comments of what color combination for the bedding to be. I am open to all suggestions. Once again, for stopping by and spending your time with me, I can't wait to see you all in the next video. See you soon!
Bye!